Hey everybody, Mark Johnson here, founder and creative director of Able Ape Studios. Back again with another vlog. Today's vlog is number 52, and as it is, I've completed my 1 year of vlogging. And it kind of comes on, well, it didn't come on the day, well, I'm not able to post it on the day that I was scheduled to post it. Um, and that's for many reasons, but I think the main reason is I just wasn't really in the mindset to kind of post it. I just didn't really know what I would say. For many of you know, this past Sunday, Kobe Bryant was in a helicopter crash which killed 9 people. One of those people was his daughter Gianna, and the world is dealing with that. Dealing with the loss, and I would say I am as well. Um, I think the last person that I kind of felt this way was Nipsey Hussle when he got gunned down in front of his store, and much like the story of Nipsey Hussle, I wasn't necessarily always a Kobe fan. I'll be honest. I think my favorite player was always Magic Johnson. The Lakers, and I think what ended up happening is Kobe won me over. Like I said, my favorite player was Magic, and just as Kobe came to the Lakers and just kind of willed his way to championships and great games and things like that. He became one of my favorite players. And that's as a fan. I think the greatest thing that I'll remember for Kobe, um, is his motivation. I think the advent of YouTube and technology that we have gave us the ability to kind of see behind the scenes. I think within the last 2 or 3 years, he's retired, and all these videos and interviews came out, and he just spoke something that just resonates with me, and it's his motivation, this Mamba mentality that he's been known for. And in the videos I watch or the podcasts I would listen to, he just really spoke to me. Really spoke to me in that sense. And my mindset has even adapted. I don't necessarily know everything that he had talked about, but the interviews that I've been able to listen to and things kind of thing, to kind of see his mindset was always inspirational, motivational, and I think if you weren't a fan of him as a athlete, I think you would have been a fan of him at some point soon. Just can imagine the things that he could have done. What I'm saying? With a matter of more years, to go. I think it was 2 years after he had retired from the NBA, he's winning an Oscar. Okay, come on now. Who does that? No one does that except Kobe. And then to think about some of the things, or to hear some of the things that he was planning for his life after basketball, it would just have been amazing to kind of see what he could have done. 2 years out, he's getting an Oscar. Again, who does that? And just kind of to hear some of the things that he was planning, some of the interviews he talked with, was great. And what I'll do is I'll leave a link to some of the interviews that I thought were just really cool with Kobe. I'll leave those in the description box below so that everyone can kind of check those out as well. Again, I became a fan of his, as a basketball player, through his 20 years with the Lakers. Wasn't always there, but he won me over for sure, definitely for sure. And it's definitely a tragic loss. People worldwide are feeling the repercussions of losing him, and losing him in the way as it happened. Because we all expect him to live a long life. Live a long life. That's kind of what you expect. It's to lose him this young, I think was definitely heartbreaking. To kind of even see some of the reaction to some other NBA players who even had a closer relationship with him, like maybe they're on the phone with him, meeting him, that kind of thing. I never met the guy, but I mean, from as far as I am from where he is or where he ever was, he's touched me, and so that's kind of the greatness of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just kind of one of the things. If you the closeness of a relationship with these people. I mean, I'm not even in the circle, and I'm feeling it. So I can imagine for those who actually knew him, either work with them in these kind of different levels. I'm sure it's a huge thing. So I know I want to continue this video, get my 52 in, and so I'm gonna allow this one for Kobe. And what I'm pledging for myself is to kind of take on this Mamba mentality and apply it to the things that I do, with the rest of this year and see what can happen. He was definitely someone who was about, being disciplined and getting your work in, and having the mindset that, you can be the greatest person in whatever you do if you put the work in. So I'm going to try to keep that mindset. I think that's one thing that I can do that's going to keep me motivated, and to kind of help me work through the pain of the loss. Again, I wasn't necessarily, I was, you can consider me a fan of Kobe Bryant, but I think what I'm going to do to help myself get through this time, and you take it on as you will, but I'm going to try to stay motivated in the sense that I'm going to use his Mamba mentality to kind of create something within my life, for his loss, and not necessarily just be someone who just mourns the loss of a great athlete, but mourn the loss of someone who actually had an effect on me, that I'm glad that he did, what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I'm at, try to find a positive out of this situation. But it's going to hurt for a while. I can see that this is going to be something that's going to stick with me for a while. And hopefully I can continue to learn through it as I work through the pain and understanding, the tragedy of the whole situation. Just kind of understanding death in general. So hopefully you're finding a way to work through it your own. And again, it's a tragic loss, and the heart goes out to not only Kobe and his family, but all the families that were involved in the crash, as well, that were on that helicopter, and each and every one of them. And to all the fans out there, I feel you. I feel you. It's going to be a tough one, but we'll find a way to get through it. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for listening, and like we always do at this time, have a blessed day. See you on the flip side. Let's go.